Well, good morning, and good morning, and here's the negative. I went down to the dark room and wanted to have a look at it before I cut it. So I tried the Craig Editor Viewer, and it was so dim I couldn't make out what this was. But it's the quilt on the couch, and these are really good negatives because the prints that are shown later really show the beautiful colors. Now, this obviously is totally overexposed. It's outside in the backyard showing a white chair, sort of in the middle. There it is, in my neighbor's yard. This is good exposure. I wanted to cut that real dark negative out and remove it, and then put the good negatives back together with tape splices. I want to cut this light negative out also because it makes a dark print. This is a little picture on my wall of Japanese woodblock prints that my father-in-law had in his house. My wife got it. Notice that this picture is blue because it was in tungsten light. And this next one is a stained glass window, sort of green, and it's rather magenta. It's a yellow-green stained glass window. And then here's the Chinese prints, not I mean Japanese prints against the wall. I used a reflected light meter, did not use the gray card, and I don't know what happened. I was trying a lot of different things. There's two different shots, neither one of them worked, but I might be able to print them. So I want to put all the light ones together and I want to put all the dark ones together into two different pieces to print. This printed beautifully, but look how blue it is and how orange this one is. This one's on the front porch. This one turned out great also. Now the next one is, I guess it was overexposed, so it's very dark and dense, which makes a very light print. And I know I could print it. Now this next one is correct. Looks like spaghetti soup, but this printed beautifully. And then we have in the backyard with the hydrangea bush. They're all exposed correctly and they turned out nicely. This is the garage. I heard a dump truck arriving and it backed up. Then I went in the house for a break. I think this exposure turned out nicely. It's one of the little pieces. And then here, the dump truck pulls forward and they make the pickup of throwing the trash in the bin. Now, this is spliced in. It's the hydrangea bush. It's very dark. I don't know why I put it there, but it's right at the end. And that's it. All right, this is how it goes into the printer, tail first. And this is the print. Look how beautiful those colors are. Oh my goodness. I like this film in tungsten light without filters. I just like the tungsten. So this goes through the same sequence. The print was made of that negative that you just saw in that sequence. So, now here's the good exposure of the white chair in the backyard. And then what I couldn't see was the red umbrella. And here's the print. Remember, they were so light. When you have too much light on the print, it makes a dark print. Here's the correct exposure, sort of. I was playing around with that 26 millimeter lens trying to do macro shots of the little Oriental man with his lantern. Now this is me, the selfie. I just held it. That camera's 8.5 pounds the way it is. That's a lot to hold with one arm all the way out. Here's the stained glass window. Could be a little bit lighter. Here's another print of the Oriental wood blocks. When the pictures are very light, this light box makes bands move when you're making a movie. But I'm just shooting still, so the bands don't always show. When this projects, it looks like it did in the room to me, sitting there. And then I guess I opened the lens a little bit for that one because the far background was a little overexposed. So the poor exposure, then the good exposure. I would forget to close the iris back down after focusing and viewfinding. But from the porch, I didn't have that problem. And this is where the big truck backs up down to the right. Then I go in the house for a break. And when I came back out, the dump truck was pulling out. I quickly focused and framed and everything. And I just let it run. And the guy comes and he throws everything into the back of the truck. And I knew I saw some red somewhere. Okay, and here's the hydrangea bush up close that didn't turn out. The negative's very, very dark. I later printed it correctly at 9.5 volts.